Hey y'all, how are you? How are you all doing? I'm just coming on here, hopefully quickly, to just send a message through. And I'm trying to send a message through from myself, from the human personality that I represent, because yes, I've gotten messages, I've gotten questions, and I want to clarify just a few things. First things first. Um, when I was growing up, I remember I used to dream of being with interdimensional beings. I used to dream about being on spaceships, and when I used to talk about it, I was told, "Don't talk about it." I used to dream about things that I would see come to happen, and I was told, "Don't talk about it." I used to dream of messages from angelic beings growing up as a child, and I was told, "Don't talk about it." So all my life, I didn't talk about it, and eventually, it just digressed. I didn't have any connections knowingly as an adult growing up. Now, a couple of years ago, I had this NDE, and yes, I think it was a soul's choice to have this experience in order to have another explosive memory of that which I am and that which we are, which is more expansive. And I say this to say that if all my life growing up I was told not to say anything about all these experiences that I've had, to now come to where I am sitting in my 40s, to be told not to say anything about it, you better believe that's not going to work this time. That's not going to work in this phase of my life. I'm going to talk exactly what I want to talk about. And here's why I want to say this to everyone who's emailing me and talking about the religion. Nothing that I've said on my channel or on any interview is targeting religion. I was brought up Christian, me a Jamaican. I was brought up strictly Christian, and although I've had these experiences, the only thing that it has done for me is allowed me to, let's say, have a laser beam type of perspective to see beyond religion and to see the embedded imprints of words and phrases and practices within religion that was placed there purposefully by human beings to take you away still from understanding your true power and connection with the God consciousness. So every single religion is needed. It was needed. It was something that was placed geographically in every part of this world, no matter what you call the religion, no matter what you call the religion or the belief or the culture or the modality that was used. Stop telling me that this one is right and that one is wrong. There is none that is wrong as far as the person who is living it and their perspective in every part of the world at a particular time on in the lifetime of this earth that was needed. There was a Christ consciousness that was given and placed within every region of this earth. Now, the people who are there from memory or from history have a different name or maybe a slightly different story because there was a different aspect or personality within that region that fitted them. So, within the natives, they had a different analogy and different history that you will see on their rocks or in these artifacts of different perspectives or ideology or appearances of beings who brought the Christ consciousness to them. In the Indian faith, they have a different modality, a different name that brought the Christ consciousness to them. Within the Christian faith, we have Jesus Christ or whatever, because I don't know all the religions. We have a different perspective, a different essence that was there that brought the Christ consciousness to us. Now, what is religion? Religion is there in order for you to have a belief in something ethereal, something expansive, something more than you. But it's not there for you to put in a box. You know, I don't have a bag in here. It's like you're going to have something and say, okay, this is Christ consciousness. This is God. I'm putting it in this room, in this bag, in this box, and this is mine. I own it. I'm sorry. That's that. I want to give this message truthfully from me. Don't send me these messages. You can if you want to, and I will answer you respectfully with love because I have no judgment towards you. But understand that what I'm saying and what I will always say, because I no longer believe in a God consciousness. I know God. I know God. I now remember what God represents to me. What God represents to me is love. That's it. And every single moment that I have a chance to choose love or withhold love, it's my choice. It's my choice. It's my choice. Whether I want to remain in alignment with God or I want to sway a little bit to the other side, to the dark side, and not be of God. It's my choice in everything. Now, while I have said that, let that rest there. I say nothing religious, religion was needed, but I will not have a conversation with anyone to say this denomination is the right one and that is the wrong one, because all of them were needed. What we need in this world right now is for you to step outside of this mansion that you've created with all these rooms and get your little behooties out in the passageway and realize, oh my gosh, there are other people in this mansion that I tried to contain God in. Wow, and God is also in their rooms. So that means I never owned God for myself. That means I can't really identify God because it's not necessary to identify God. Oh my gosh, that means God doesn't only love me, He loves them also. Wow, which means they're probably also an aspect of me because they represent an aspect of God. Oh my gosh, so maybe they deserve also to live on this planet, which is self sustaining all of us as much as I do. Oh, but they worship God in a different way. They talk to God in a different way. They appear differently. They dress differently. Their color is different. But God is also in their rooms. Oh, you know what? Let's call in the demolition team. It's time to break these walls down because we don't need these walls anymore. That's why we have so many pockets of craziness happening in this world. That's why the powers that were, because they aren't strong anymore, are now creating so many distractions. You can't keep up. You get so fearful. You're so easily distracted. You don't know what to do with your faith. Because all of a sudden, you're the first one who starts to say, oh my gosh, it's doom and gloom. And that's all you want to see. You want to watch the news and you want to watch every channel that tells you about prediction because you always want to know what's going to happen tomorrow. And you don't realize you're the one creating tomorrow now with what you believe. So predictions are probability. And most times when predictions come through, it comes through for you to feel into it and choose, do I really want to experience this thing that is coming? Because you have a choice collectively to either mitigate something that's coming. You can always not amplify it by feeding it and say, oh my gosh, I'm so fearful. This is going to happen. The storm is coming. Oh my God, we're all going to die. Because if I come in here and I tell you about this, there are videos on my channel with messages and dreams that I did talk about the tsunamis for Asia and all these other stuff because they kept coming to me and my guides wanted me to share that. But there are many others that I didn't. But let me explain something to you. Although they sound that way, many of them will happen because you have to remember we have not always been very kind to our planet. And there are things that powers that were doing within this planet that really aren't good for Gaia, really isn't good for the atmosphere or the outer sphere either. And it's going to react to it the way it should. Now, as it happens, when I do get dreams of predictions, no matter how terribly they are, and I don't care about talking about all of them here because you tend to listen only about the chaos that I speak about. And you don't listen long enough to hear the message that comes after. You don't listen long enough to hear what the angels say to me after a tsunami, and they will take me when the waters have parted, and all we're looking on is the floor of the sea, and what they show me and the messages they give me of hope and joy, and the revelation that comes after a tsunami, and the revelation that comes after a tornado, and the healing that comes after a fire, and the earthquake when it shakes, the unearthing that it brings up, the things that have been there that needs now to be unearthed, the unearthing of your soul and of your body and of your heart. You don't listen long enough to hear that. So I'm sorry, my guides are here and I really want to get this message through because I want you to hear from a human being. Yeah? The focus isn't on the chaos. It isn't about, oh my gosh, what's going to happen tomorrow? I want to know. I want to click, click, click. No, the focus is understanding, wow. So these are the probabilities that may happen. What can I do as an individual to change this, to make this better for my children, my grandchildren, and these generations coming behind me? What can I do to mitigate this? What can I do? Let's come to this table. Let's form our own council. There are councils there, yes, and they're observing us, and it's really cool to see them observing Earth. But they really look on us and wish we could form our own councils and say, you know what? Yes, there was a flood and there's going to be another flood and there's going to be another one. And we have the western parts and the eastern parts of the US who are really going to get get hit by water. Yes, yes, yes. And there are parts of the US that are going to get hit by earthquakes, and even more so for Asia. That's for absolute sure. Okay, but how do we want to experience it? Are we going to experience this in the third dimension in all fear? Or are we going to step up our consciousness and say, you know what? We are forming our own councils now, individually, collectively. We don't have to be beside each other, by sending love. So let me tell you what you do with your religions while you're sitting here and say, oh, my religion is right, my culture is right now. Let me tell you what you do with it. Okay, let's compete then. So the ones who pray, let's now pray unceasingly. The ones who meditate, let's meditate unceasingly. Let's collectively form a council where we, within this planet, while we know you've listened to all the predictions, you have already been fearful. Now let's put the fear under your feet, shall you? And let's just plan a day, a week, or let's just do this every day collectively. And whatever your religion or modality is, let's dig deep into this faith, into this belief, whatever it is that you hold on to. Let's prove who's best now if you want to. And let's dig deep and start sending healing and prayer and love and peace out into the atmosphere, shall we? Let's do that. But don't message me telling me not to speak anymore, because I love you too much to tell you what the human me would want to say. But all my life I've been told, don't talk about it. I'm talking about it now. Because IBDAM, I'll be damned if I'm going to sit down and not do anything and not keep being an aspect of this lighthouse that this world needs, because we need more every day. And the more of you that decide to pray or meditate or just give focus to any one region, any one person, any one problem, and just send love and light there. That's the power you have. That's the power you should be focusing on today. Not focusing on what one person said and you said you talk to God. You can't talk to God. No, I'm sorry. That's from my perspective. It's not to bug you. It's just for you to understand that there's more in this world than you can ever understand. Don't itch yourselves or edge yourselves under one small words or phrases or modalities. You've been doing that all your life. Just focus now on the healing that must come, but it must come from us. This peace that you say, when is the world going to be in peace? Well, the world's going to be in peace when you're at peace with yourself. Enough to hear somebody else's perspective and not judge. To love somebody just because they're another person, they're breathing too, not because of their color or creed or whatever. So, this is coming from me this morning because I was going through the emails and was like, oh my gosh, so third density. Oh my gosh, that's all you listen. That's all you heard out of the messages that I sent. That I am bombarded in Christianity, that I'm turning my back away from God. Are you kidding me? Turn my back away from who? Who do I talk to all day? I just know now that I don't need to go to a place or look high for a God consciousness. I know that God is within every choice that I make. And it's very important to me that you understand that too, that you have that power. So, okay, I'll leave you be. Just know that you are the ones who called the demolition team in. You're the ones consciously want change. And as they strategically place these arms within these, these beams that needs to go, the education system, the political system, the pharmaceutical system, healthcare on the whole is the spiritual community. Yes, religion. They're placing strategically on all these beams, strategically, that needs to come down, that serves us no more. So we can all together decide, you know what? Yeah, it's time for change. It's time for a good, healthy, peaceful change. And for those that go while these atrocities happen, it can't be easy for a human being to know that you lose family members through this. And maybe this is not going to help you, but the angels were there. They always have been there. But things that happen from our choices. It's we who choose how we treat this earth. If we stand up for the ones who are annihilating the earth, if we stand up against it to say, listen, I am standing up for Gaia. Everything that happens, it's from our choice. Nobody's bombarding us or punishing us. We're the ones who need to understand collectively we can diffuse this thing that's about to go off. Don't focus on, oh my gosh, I have no power, this is going to happen anyway. No, we know about it now because we have the power to change. So change. So, okay, all the Christians, pray. Everyone else, meditate. Everyone else, send love. I don't care what you believe or what you think. But you have a mission. You have something to do. You have some good thought you can put out there. You can say, I wish them well. I wish them peace. That's enough. But do something. Don't sit and propagate fear all the days of your life. Because at the end of the day, you won't like it. Okay? So I am going to speak. And you might just have prompted me to speak every day now too by sending me those emails. Anyway, love and light to all of you. Have yourself a wonderful day. Just know that you're the truth and the power, and the will is yours for peace and for love and for unity within this plane. This plane, very small plane that we live in. But the choice in us is ours. And we are finally, are you excited at that point where we really can usher in the change that we want? Not from stories and histories and what people say, but what we actually want to experience. Our children, our grandchildren, great grandchildren. So let's own this power, shall we? Instead of trying to own God, own that. Put it in a box now. Create another room for this. Say, this is what we're owning now. This thing. The peace and the love and the joy that I want to experience. Own that, will you? Own that. And don't care about what anyone else is doing. Just own that for you. And it will reciprocate, and you will realize, oh my gosh, the earth just became just a little bit softer. Peace and love, okay?